Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the IVES. This is their part number SR64. An SR64 is the typical, common, ubiquitous rubber bumper used in hollow metal frames, and that part number is by IVES, and that means a package of 100. And what's nice about IVES is that they include the installation or the insertion tool, which is unique in the sense of other people, and there are lots of people who make rubber bumpers for hollow metal frames that sell trim and auxiliary hardware, but IVES is the only one that you don't have to ask for it. And while their material is noticeably more expensive, it's it's noticeably nicer to get the tool rather than trying to pop those in yourself. So when you buy one, you're purchasing a package of 100 bumpers. That's the only way these are sold. 100's a lot. That's going to do, obviously, 3 bumpers per frame on a single frame, 2 bumpers on a pair. You're going to have lots of openings that you can do, and that's what that bumper looks like. Okay. When it is inserted into the hole in the face of the stop of the hollow metal frame, that's all that's exposed. That insertion tool is nice because it fits well. It's the right size, and it's not too it's not tapered or pointed where it will puncture or rip. As you're inserting these, I like to get one edge of the insertion point in and then work around the perimeter, because if you push hard enough, you can poke a hole through it if you are determined to do that. So you kind of want to be a little ginger, a little gentle as you work it around and insert it in, and that tool is worth the extra money. If you have a lot of these to do, you want to do them quickly, and you don't want to fuss about, okay, how am I going to stick these in now? If you are trying to do it with a nail, you end up having to try to push it in on a corner and then work it around, and it just takes, if you've got 25 frames to do, this tool's awfully handy. So let's take some basic dimensional properties of the item. The thickness of the pad that will be exposed, 0.14 inch, 0.14 inch. The outside diameter, I'd say it would be about 0.53 inch, 0.53 inch. Now the diameter of where it inserts into the hole in the frame, it's about 0.298 inch, about 0.298. I generally find that the hole in the hollow metal frame is about 5/16, 0.3125. So that's generally what I find. About a 5/16 hole will hold that. The diameter of the tool, just for the sake of taking that as well, 0.096, okay. Gray in color. These do fatigue with time. They do dry out, or they will collapse and corrode and crack, especially in exterior applications, over enough time. They do get intentionally and unintentionally popped out. And you're definitely going to find people that will purchase these so that they can insert them back into the frame to bring the door to a point where it's really not slamming against the stop of your hollow metal frame, which is not a good thing at all. That will work to erode the integrity of the installation. Having a small amount of rubber bumper contact will help deaden that. Okay. For use on metal frames, featuring pneumatic design that once installed forms an air pocket to absorb shock and reduce noise of door closing. I've never considered any sort of science behind a rubber bumper, but that's published data from the manufacturer. Pneumatic design that once installed forms an air pocket to absorb shock and reduce noise. I would imagine they might be discussing not only the hole, but perhaps there is an ever so slight parabolic sort of shape to the face of this. Maybe. Tamper-proof once installed on the frame. Proper installation also eliminates door rattle and provides constant tension for door latches or locks. So the center line of the strike in the rabbet of the frame is also based on its position from where the door will reside. Where the door will reside in the stop or the rabbet area of the frame at a 0 degree is dependent on having this installed, because this dimension is taken into account in terms of the, if your door is 1 3/4 and your frame rabbet's 1 15/16, that 3/16 difference is the thickness of this and then the amount of the inset from the face of the door. If you put your hand on the face of the door and ran it over the face of the door and frame on the pull side, the door's moved in a little bit. Well, there's a total of 3/16, some on that inset and some to allow for this. Now, if you don't have the rubber bumper installed, that door is going to come from 0 degree and it's going to be like a negative 0.01 degree or whatever it is. That's not proper operation because the latch bolt is not communicating to its strike plate in the proper degree. So it eliminates door rattle, provides constant tension for door latches or locks. Each bag has the insertion installation tool included and sold per bag of 100. IVES also makes a wood frame version. There's a link below this video to a document called Product Brochure, where you can see the SR65, and that is indeed the wood frame version of this. If you have a wood frame, you'll want the SR65. You'll drill a simple hole into the face of the stop and push them in. I've had people ask, hey, is there anything I can do to make sure they stay in? I've never heard of them falling out, but you might also need to be in a position where I've had some people dab a little bit of epoxy in there to keep them in. I wouldn't want to set them in permanently because I want to be able to remove and replace them. Okay, and then there's the SR66 which is a self-adhesive model that you will put in a variety of different places. Neither architectural wood frame or a hollow metal steel frame, maybe cabinet doors or anywhere where you want to deaden something. You can also, I suppose, use that as a pad underneath something to build it off. The SR64 is available in, they actually list it in gray and tan color as well. I've never seen it personally in tan. I've been asked for it in lots of different colors. I've never seen the SR64 in tan. They do indicate it's available. There's also then a link below this video to the installation instructions, and that's a document that they do state that the drill hole is 9/32 and not 5/16, and that would be 0.281. And that would certainly make sense because I measured that bumper stem at about 0.295. Whether you're 10,000ths plus or minus, the manufacturer's installation instructions calls out 9/32, so be sure to follow that. They do indicate that pneumatic chamber, and again, I've not thought of it to that extent. So instructions: insert blunt end of the 3/32 wire or tool furnished into the hole in the center of silencer. Moisten cone portion and insert into the 9/32 diameter hole in the stop strip of the frame. Push slowly in a circular motion so as to elongate the conical portion sufficiently to set the silencer in place. Like I said, work it around. Pneumatic chamber. Maybe maybe the design of this is like a sponge type silicone, where there are microscopic air pockets in there. That must be what they're referring to. Yeah, and there you go. So there is finally a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the IVES products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the IVES, this is their part number SR64 in a gray finish, or any other IVES product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.